Oh man, that doesn't get old. That does not get old. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? That's one of those new themes I've been working on, guys. Hey! And Holly has crashed the party. He is just in full swing. He's like, I want to be a star today on the YouTubes. I've been working on these themes like, it's like an obsessive thing for me. I mean, this is just like...
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes, it's time to get juiced.
These are just so fun. Oh, yeah. I love a custom sting. It's so good. Yeah, well, welcome to Wednesday, or Thursday, guys. It's Thursday. We're a day delayed because of, well, I had to work yesterday. So, like, you know, once I got to work, it's like, you know, I can't squeeze in a live stream when I'm shooting. So, and I was working way across town. There was no way I would have made it back here in time. It would have been like a late night shoot or late night episode, and I don't think anybody's down for that. So, or maybe you are. Text me or email me. Email me. Where's the email address? There it is. You can email me anytime. You know, if you want to try a late one, we can try a late one. But I think most people come in at this time. This is when people kind of expect us to be doing this. Also, oh, by the way, also send me your systems, viewer systems. We'll do those today if you have any. I don't have any to show you. Nobody sent me anything. So there you go. But yes, that's... Holly's had enough. He's like, you're talking, man. You're not paying attention to me. I'm out of here, prick. Some things in the news. What have I got going on today? Oh, I should check my... Oh, boy, that's bad. No, it's not bad. I thought I did a bad thing. I didn't. Where's my notes? Where's my show notes, people? Where'd my notes app go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, I got some things to talk about while we get started. First off, I'm doing more of these things. I've been theme crazy. I mean, just doing stuff. So fun. I love these things. I love them. I'm just having a blast having those made. My arm, check this out. First time, guys, in 3-4 months, I've been able to do this. This is insane. I could not lift my arm this like far. I could get it. I could just do that, and that was it. I can actually, like, all this rehab I've been doing, every day I've been doing. I have these bands. These things, sorry, plastic bands. I've been using those to do some, like, build up my shoulder strength, and so I've been doing those, and it's helped. I mean, like, it's amazing. I've got almost full motion. There's a little bit of pain in there still some cracking and stuff, but I've been working on my posture, sitting up straight, that kind of thing, and that's been helping. But you aren't here for that. What'd you think about the Zale review? I finally got it out after all this time. It took me forever. I know you guys were asking for that for like 3 months, and I finally got it done. So I'm glad that got out. Some great discussion down below that one. I was kind of reading through the comments. I get the comments, like I notice when somebody puts a comment down, and I was reading through that. You guys were having a nice discussion down there about what's important to you, and somebody had chimed in about, like, they were wearing, that it's not, it doesn't compare well with the Enlium. And I'm like, that's only with the Sysfara. And he's like, I only wear the Sysfara. I'm like, oh, okay, well, and that's only if you like slam on the Sysfara. If you like detail on the Sysfara, then this is going to be a better amp, so it's fun. So fun. But that was good. I was glad to see that that episode's doing really well. A lot of people are watching it. Slow starter. Started out, like, they give me a rank. YouTube gives me a rank of, like, the episodes where this new episode is rating, who's watching it in relation to the past episodes. And, like, it started out at, like, number 7 or 6, and I'm like, oh my God, I spent $8,000 on a amp. I got a number 6 out of it. My return on investment is miserable, but it's since recovered, and it's my number 1 video. So that's good. That's good. I'm glad people are watching it. Hopefully they're enjoying it. I thought it was like a nice balance of information and opinion. I was trying to do a little bit of everything with that one. So, and then I had the fun new stuff with it, which a lot of people seem to like. So that was good. X9000. Adjunct to that Zale review. You know, the episodes don't just end when I stop recording, fellas. I decided, well, hell, if I did the Zale as a preamp to the Woo, why not do it as a preamp to the Alphabet amp back here, Cave GS SHV Carbon CC? Why not try it there and see what it does? And lo and behold, I can juice I can juice up my X9000. Man, there is a cat in our house. I think that's Mighty Thor. Mighty Thor is about this big, but he's crying for some reason. He probably pooped. But I was able to use. Sorry, squirrel. I was able to use the Zale to preamp, and I was able to like punch the bass a little bit on this, because you know that's my biggest problem with this headphone. It's like it's not very bassy, even though it's bassier than my 009S. It's still, or former 009, I sold those, but it really helps this out. So I was like, and if there's any loss in detail, which I was perceiving through the Woo, this headphone is so resolving. It's like you're not going to notice a little shave of the detail on this. So this was a win, and this is a go-to way for me to use my electrostatics going forward. I'm going to be using the Zale. I'll come out of the DCS into the Zale, and then use the Zale's pre to push the amp, the Cave G, the Alphabet amp. I'll just call it that, the Alphabet amp. So yes, gain staging, yes. And so that's where it worked out, and it's great because you can actually, there's usable, as I stated, there are usable toggles over on this thing for bass and treble shells, you know, at the end. So very cool. Very cool. So I did that. That was a huge win, and it's making me go back to the X9000 for a little bit. Even though they're for sale, I know I'm selling them, but I still will listen to them because they're still. It's the most resolving headphone. Period. I think, unless you go into the crazy Uber stuff. I don't even know if it's been so long since I heard the Sennheiser, the Uber Sennheiser, what's it called? X1, H1, whatever it is. Their electrostatic, the flagship, the $50,000 thing with the marble. That amp, that setup, I don't know if that's as resolving as the X9000. This thing is just ridiculously fast. There's insane detail on it, more than I remember there being on the Sennheiser setup. So anyway, nice. That was a nice thing that I got to do this week. And we all know it's not HE1. Thank you, the HE1 Orpheus 2. That was, and I'll get to your chat in a second. I'm just letting that fill up. You know how this goes. We've got to just and it's a hard day because we're not on at a normal time, so I'm not expecting as big an audience because people usually expect me on a Wednesday. So it's nice to be here on a Thursday for a change. It's a Thursday happy hour, not hump day. And all my themes, most of my themes, the new themes I've done have been all hump day related because I'm mostly on a Wednesday. And I've got more of those. It's so fun though, man. I'm just having a blast with this music stuff, doing some custom things for this show. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. It seems like you are. The comments are good. I'm getting a lot of good feedback for them. And there's more of those coming, more of those custom tunes. But this week is not about me, let's be honest. It's about Taylor Swift. Can you go anywhere without seeing Taylor Swift and to talk about this new album? And I've listened to a lot of it, particularly yesterday. I finally got a chance to spend some time with a bunch of tracks. Not my favorite Taylor Swift album ever. and I'll get Swiftied to death if there are any Swift fans. How dare you say that? But oh, I never checked my video. How am I looking, guys? Am I looking okay? Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I'm looking okay. A little low, whatever. I'm really low. Let's pull that up. Now that I'm annoying. Now I'm annoyed. But I checked it out and I was like, I wasn't thrilled with it. I thought it was a little dark, like a little bit of, like, kind of like this video. It's looking pretty dark. But I thought it was a little dark, like it didn't have a lot of lift to it, and it was more kind of the same stuff I've heard from her for the last couple of years. And I didn't particularly, as you know, I may have said on the show, I didn't particularly like Midnights either. I didn't think Midnights was particularly like a great record either. So it just is like more of like my boyfriend dissed me. So I don't know. I'm like, didn't grab me that much, you know. And I give everything a fair listen. I mean, I listen to the Beyonce album. I listen to everything. I don't discriminate when it comes to music. I think people are, you know, people have gifts, and it's good to see their. I don't always. It's not always for me, but you know, when you have that level of fan base and you have that many people like going nuts for your stuff, I mean, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. She really connects with her audience, and they all know. Like they all, when the girls, the ladies at the office, there are a lot of Swifties at our office, and they're like, they waited until midnight when the album dropped, and they listened to the record through, and then at 2 a.m. when they finally got done, because they're listening for clues. She puts all these clues about her relationships and who she's, you know, about people she's dated and things like that, and that's part of the game of her appeal, is what is she referring to when she says this, you know, and what is she referring to, and they're like all into it. I'm not. I don't know all the things, but I get it. I mean, it's something to belong to. It's a culture that people belong to and they take part of, and that's great. I'm more in it for the music, and I've said frankly, I thought that Folklore was a fantastic record. As a record, as a concept, musically it was interesting, it was different. She did really interesting things on that record musically, with where she had different tempos, she had stuff that moved, and it was paced well, and there were 3 central stories. I love that it was built around characters, and then later on I read an interview where she said, well, when she was describing the record and how it came to be, she was saying, well, I'd done all of these all of my music has been about myself, and we were in the pandemic and I didn't really have much more about myself to say, so I invented some characters and I told a little story about them from 3 different perspectives. And once you understand that, it's like, it makes the record a lot more interesting to listen to. Anyway, I enjoyed that record, but then I haven't liked anything since. I thought Evermore was more of a continuation of a theme. It was very similar to Folklore without introducing anything like brilliant and new that I liked. And then I didn't care for Midnights. I thought Midnights was too electronic and pop. And I really struggled with this new record. Right off the bat, first track out was Post Malone track. And I'm not against Post Malone, but it was all heavily auto-tuned, and it was that auto-tuned sound. This is something that drives me nuts in music. I'm like, why is this still a thing in 2024? Like, that was a big thing in 2008, 2010. You know, everybody's auto-tuning, and it was the thing, and it was in all the rap songs, it was in all the hip-hop, everything. We're 14 years removed from that. That should be done by now. That sound, that auto-tuned sound, should be dead by now. There's no excuse to put that in the records anymore. There's nothing trendy about it. There's nothing valuable about it. All it tells me is you don't know how to sing on key. That's what it tells me, you know. So that's my little, I don't know, Taylor Swiftism. But I'm always interested in what the kids are listening to, and what's new. And I've run through. I've already told you in the past, like, go listen to that new Black Crowes album. I'm impressed with it. I don't think it's their best work, but if you're looking for something new that's harder and more like mainstream, it's a nice mainstream rock album, and it's good to hear them putting out music again. I don't think it's as strong as their best material, but it's not out of line with what I would expect from a Black Crowes album, which is to say they didn't mess it up. It's good. It's a good record. Maybe shy of great, but and I like the new Billy Joel. I heard the single. I haven't heard the whole album yet. I got to listen to that one of these nights. Eagles. But I want to check that out. But I told you about that song. Like, that song was his Turn the Lights Back On was like one bridge short of greatness. It was a great song. It was a good song that could have been a phenomenal great song. Anyway. There we go. That's where we're at. And the D7000 I think is shipping finally. I think that went into shipping mode this week. So if you're interested in the D8000 but don't want to spend $4,000, you can spend $3,500 and get something very similar, I guess. I don't know. I haven't heard the D7000. Also, I have, guys, gotta do a little shout out to my boy Zach in Chicago. You know Zach. He owns ZMF. I got we did the Caldera episode, and, I was showing off the new cups, and some people said big whoop. Other people were like, hey, that's really cool. And I get it, it's not for everybody. But I wanted to show that off and as a way to say, appreciate the work they put in on it, and I liked it so much. Zach sent us 2 boxes for mystery boxes, and they're big. I think it's like, there could be like a couple of really good things in here. So that's going to be coming up. That's an upcoming episode. Next episode is going to be my full review of this headphone, which happens to be plugged into the amp right now, the Dan Clark Audio E3. And I have a lot to say about this headphone. It has super impressed me. But I know, like anything, it was so huge in that unboxing episode because it was so great. I've had some time to digest it a little bit. So I'm going to have a full-blown review, all my thoughts on this thing, what it does well, maybe it doesn't do so well. And that'll be out. Maybe it'll be out next week. I haven't shot it yet. I wrote it, but I haven't shot it. So who knows when that'll be done or in your hands. If it can get it done by Tuesday, great, but I have to see my mom this weekend. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Mama Director. All right, let's get to the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about today. Howdy, Michael. Michael and his new toy. Yeah, guys, I'm telling you. I'll refrain unless you guys make requests and you want to hear some of these things. I've been really. I did like a psychedelic mix. I did I've done everything. It's been so fun doing these Director's Garage things, these fun things that are going to be in all the episodes coming up. And because the thing is, I want enough of them so that, yeah, they're going to repeat at some point because I can't endlessly do this, but I want to get a catalog of them so that they're not episode to episode. They're going to change for you. They're not going to be exactly the same. It'll be kind of spicy and something fun that pops up. So yeah, Michael and his new toys is audio fool. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Gil Renard says, I have a cat that looks almost like Howley. Yeah. I'll bet you your cat doesn't bring you dead bunny rabbits as he did this week. And 4 rats. 4 consecutive days of rats and a bunny. And he tears up. I have these bins over there. Oh my God, they're like these nice felt bins to store my headphones and my headphone supplies, keep the cables organized, all of that. And he just has shredded them down to the cardboard. It was this nice felt wrapper. He's torn right through it. And he'll get through the cardboard at some point. I got to order new ones. It's his scratching post. I've bought him a little pole to sleep on that's like nice carpet on it so he can tear that up. He won't tear it up. He does nothing but tear up the stuff that I care about. I put $150 cat-proof covers on my Vandersteins, and he has shredded them. Like, he's down into the insulation. I'm gonna have to order new ones. Unbelievable, that dude. Okay. Audiofull says +1 for evening chats. Hardly ever able to make these. Just happened to have an appointment today, so we got out early for once. Well, I'm glad you're here, Audiofull, man. It's always true. Let's all raise a glass to Audiofull, man. Always good to have you in the audience, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you and your opinions and your addition to the conversation. Nephilim. Gain staging. God, I love that one. That's one of my favorites. I'm doing everything. It's just like it's a drug. Now that I have the ability to do some fun stuff, I'm really taking it. I'm really doing it. So I hope you guys. I hope it makes the show more enjoyable. Certainly gives it a more professional feel. Not that I want to be professional. I'm still going to be your idiot no matter what. Hey, Nicholas, how are you? Brian says, have you been able to listen to the Caldera closed at all? Curious how it compares to the open model. No. Although, I mean, guys, this wouldn't be... It's possible. I don't know. Maybe that's what he sent me. I don't know. Find out 2 weeks probably. Oh man, I'm dying. I'm dying. And they're massive. Like that's the small box. The big box is crazy. HU1 Orpheus, yes, thanks Nephilim for chiming in with that. Bill, great buddy, glad you're here. You guys are all on first name basis. I only know you by your handles. Brian, great video this week. Hey, thanks. I worked hard on it. That episode was 2 weeks in the making. And I said this, and I think I wrote this to the Patreon folks, or I don't remember who I wrote it to. But basically, sorry, I got to check something real quick. Nope, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. It was great that I came up with some new bits to include in the big show, but when you introduce new audio, fellas, you got to cover that audio with stuff. You can't just the blinking when I'm doing, the power, which is a longer section of music. Like, I don't want to sit on one slate with some flashing, blinking letters on it. Like, I've got to do something else with it. So it made the episode a lot more complicated because I had more video to cover. I had to invent stuff for this episode. Now, I've got some things now that are pre-built from the last episode that I can tweak and use again in different ways. But yeah, that's the problem. Put more musical interludes. I'm like, I got to cover that shit with something. You don't want to see me on camera sitting there listening to it. I've got to do something. I've got to put some B-roll up over it, or something. So I painted myself into it. I built myself a better trap, a better mouse trap that I'm now stuck in. Way to make more work for yourself. But it's fun. It's fun. I think it makes the show more interesting. It makes it more interesting for me. Because I'm a music lover. And if I can do... I love that I'm doing this in multiple genres. It's like it's fun. It's fun to do. Audiofull, Taylor who? I know, man. I know. She's not for everybody. I get it. But I'm interested in what other people do. I mean, there's... I've met a lot of creative people. I've got to find this. I got to find where I'm at. My thing chat jumped. I've met a lot of creative people, and I've interviewed Taylor Swift probably half a dozen times now for various things. Not recently. Like, I think the last thing I did was I probably did an interview for her on the Reputation album. That was the last one. The last three, we had the pandemic, and then she came out of it. She's not really doing press, She's not doing the major media outlets like us right now. Not that I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just I don't think she's into it. She kind of communicates direct with her fans, and you know, whatever. It's working for her. So it's not like she needs us to sell records. She's selling quite a few. But yeah, I still, you know, I still respect artists, and I respect even, you know, artists who have a ton of followers. I don't get it, and I don't always, you know, like I'm not into their music or whatever. But I always listen to it. I want to listen to it just to hear what it is. What, you know, and because I can appreciate what other people see in something. It's just like headphones, you know. Every headphone isn't for me. And there are people who think I'm like half off my rocker for liking, I don't know, this headphone or you know, some whatever back there. But I listen to stuff and I'm like, and I don't like the Expanse, but almost a lot of people love the Expanse. But I'm like, it doesn't work for me. There's problems with that headphone to me. And I can, you know, talk, and then I come on the YouTubes and I tell you what it is about them that I like or don't like. But I appreciate the fact that other people like them, and I'm willing to listen to them. I'm like, you know what I mean? I try to be as open as possible. I think it's, you know, and sometimes I come around on artists, like an artist that I didn't like. 10 years later, I'll listen to it and go, oh, that's pretty good. And I'm usually away from the curve. There's very few times I'm with the curve. It's like, when Nirvana came out, I did not like Nirvana. Can you believe it? It's noisy, and we had such a good thing going with alt rock, and now we've got this grunge shtick. And I didn't realize that Cobain was writing in a very familiar language, just with a different tone and a different accent. And it wasn't until he did the Unplugged album that I started structurally understand what he was doing with his music. And I'm like, oh, I can get down with this. He was just speaking in a tone that was unpleasant for me to listen to. I didn't want it. And then, you know, all that sounds, you know, tame compared to some of the other stuff that came after it now. But it's like, blowing up the microphone. But, you know, the kids loved it at the time. I was out of college. I was at work at my first job by then. First real job. The Audiofool is under a rock. For those about to rock. You got that one right. But it's very nice. It's a nice rock with lots of tubes. Michael trying to sell me on Taylor Swift. No, I'm just talking because it's the topic of the week, really, around in the music industry. That's pretty much all everybody's talking about. How much did she sell? Some people are dissing the record. A lot of people are upset that people are dissing the record. I don't like whatever. I just listened to it and told you what I thought. Adnan, howdy, folks. How y'all doing today? Well, we're all right. I've got myself an ice cold glass of Joe, also known as unsweetened iced tea. So fun. WA22 Nephilim wants to know. And Audiofool says, yeah, there's lots of tubes under his rock. They don't glow much right now. His new position has kept him at work, eat, slimp, reach, repeat. Hopefully not forever. Adnan has a new gear alert. He is Adnan and he has a problem. Welcome, Adnan. Like, it's Audiophiles Anonymous. That would be, you know, that would not be a bad name for you know, the live stream. I just like happy hour. I like the idea of tying it to drinking for some reason, even though I'm not much of a drinker anymore. It's just fun. It's just fun. But that's not a bad one. Audiophiles Anonymous. Somebody should start that YouTube show. That'd be great. Hi, I'm Adnan. I have a problem. Hi, Adnan. After being clean for 6 months, he bought a nice limited run of stabilized Atrium. Oh, yeah, I saw that dropped this week. I don't know if there's anything left of that sale. I thought they had some stuff left. You can go over to ZMF and buy stuff. I don't get any, you know, I don't get anything. Hey, I got an update. There's some new records coming out. Hang on. What are the new titles? Don't walk away, Music Direct, so fast. Other people who don't pay me for their plug. The Wild Innocent and E Street Shuffle is soon available on Mobile Fidelity, the one that's bad, that they dumped to DVD, DSD before making a record out of it. don't understand that process. Steely Dan Gaucho, people raving about that one, although the album doesn't get reviewed well. It's one of my favorites, but it doesn't get reviewed particularly well. The new I.O. album from Peter Gabriel hits Blu-ray box set, 2 CDs, 4 vinyl LPs. Oh, okay. Neil Young and Crazy Horse has a new record, which I can't pronounce on the YouTubes, so I'll get censored. It's Something Up. You can go look that one up yourself. New Sonny Rollins release from Blue Note. All right, enough of that. I'm not here to sell records. I'm here to talk to you guys. So Adnan has, so now he's waiting on Zach for his new, yeah, I know. And it's like, and the basic design of this headphone is so great. You can do this in any style you want, and it's going to be impressive. I just happen to love this weathered old look. I love that these things look beat up like they traveled to me from the 1930s. It's so great. So great. And they're comfortable. They're all the things. But you already know I love this headphone. So you're in for a good ride, Adnan. The only thing I tell people if they're looking at the Atrium, make sure one of the pads you get is the suede fenestrated pad. Just trust me on that. It made a world of difference to me on this headphone. I'm normally a leather. I like the lambskin, whatever. The suede on the Atrium, fellas. That's my advice. Maybe you don't like it, but it extended the bass and really cleared up the treble. The treble is a little muddy on the standard leather pads on that, and this opens it up. Suede pads on the Atrium. So there you go. Let's see where we're at. We're down a ways. I'm way down beyond this. Okay, congrats. Brian says, congrats to Adnan. He wanted to get one but missed out on the stabilized drop. He's thinking about ordering one of the limited wood closed Atriums now. Oh, the closed. I haven't heard the closed Atrium. That'd be an interesting one to get. That would be an interesting one to get. And I wonder how it compares to the open. This is such a nice warm headphone. So much to love about this. Nice dynamic driver. Very good. Nephilim says, Michael, so glad to hear about some healthy preamping adventures with the Zale into your E-stand amp. Good idea. He's so in the favor of the art of preamping. It's been a blast to carry. Yeah, and having stuff properly preamped is going to make a huge difference in the texture of the headphone, whatever the headphone is you're plugging it into. That preamp process, you want to eliminate the noise. That's what I went through in the last video. You make sure that your levels aren't so low going into your amp that you're having to crank up a low signal, because you're going to be cranking up noise floor along with the music. And you don't want to do that. You want to have that separation between the noise floor and the signal, the music signal, as separate as possible, so that you're boosting mostly music. There you go. JTB has a new Pearl Jam album. No, Pearl Jam has a new album. He doesn't have it. That was another band I just skipped. I don't know. Am I nuts? Eddie Vedder, all those guys. I don't know. I guess at that time, I think I was in the British thing at the time. That's what it was. I was really getting into. I was still up on the YouTube and YouTube. YouTube wasn't a thing in 1990s. I was still into the U2 thing at the time and what they had done with Achtung Baby, and I was trying to see if that strain, and where it led us was Oasis, which turned out to be kind of a dead end. Great couple of records, and boy did they fizzle hard. That's a band that burned out big time, mostly because the brothers couldn't get along. Kind of like the Robinson brothers. After they got through a certain number of albums with Black Crowes, it started to decline pretty quick. Like I said, though, the new record's pretty good. Gotta like it. So I'd love to hear Oasis get back together, but Noel and Liam are just oil and water at this point. Michael, just want to say, Audio Fool says, oh wait, I skipped something. Holly just jumping back in. Just on top of one of my Vandersteins again. Thanks, buddy. Nephilim81, hi pal, yes, but maybe wanted to get something more colored. Tube amp. WA22 has been great though, especially good tubes, especially with the LCD4. Yeah, that's a good tube. It's a good anything headphone. Still love that headphone. Just thinking about selling it. Anybody interested in it, let me know. I got to get something for them, but I'm trying to put together enough to buy into something else here to keep the home office interesting, something. I have some ideas. I just don't know, and I've talked about it on the show. I just don't know what I'm going to be able to drum up enough money for. We'll see. I'm kind of locked in. I can't afford to spend money out of pocket, so anything I buy has to be the result of sales of current gear. Because I have insurance coming up next month, and I think I talked about this last week. It tripled. Our house insurance tripled, and I have no way out of it right at the moment. Still looking, but California is really bad right now. It's a whole thing. If you live out here, it's a whole thing. Audiofool says, Michael, just want to say thanks for sharing his gear picks a few weeks back. He's honored. Yeah, I love sharing them. I love, you guys send me your shots of your stuff. I don't care if it's entry-level stuff. I don't care if it's mid-tier stuff. I just want to check it out. It's just something to do on the show, and it's a way to bring us all together to see what other people are rocking. I show you all my gear. You get to see it all. JTB says, Zach from ZMF sent me the Bokeh and the Homage amp. Maybe. That's possible. I don't know. I have no clue. He did send me an email that listed stuff, but I don't open. When I see that and it said that they sent me something, and I knew Zach had talked about a couple of weeks ago, maybe sending me something. When I get the email, I don't open it because I'm afraid that it's in there. I'm afraid that they're going to tell me what it is, and I want that reaction to be on camera, sight unseen, because I think it's more fun for you all. It's fun for me. It's murder for me to sit here with closed, sealed boxes that could have anything in them. He could have sent me the Caldera closed. He could have sent me, there's a lot of stuff out there. And he knows what I have and what I don't have because he's taken all my orders. He could have sent me a Verite closed. He could have sent me any of the Aeolus. I've never had any of those earlier ZMFs in. I've never tried them out. So I think anything is fair game. I just don't think, I'm pretty sure he didn't send me a Caldera, a regular Caldera, and I'm pretty sure that he didn't send me an Atrium because he knows I have both of them. So yeah, it could be anything, and there could be an amp in there too. That would be really cool. I think that amp looks really nice. I'd love to get one and leave it at work or something. I don't know, take it with me. It's just such a neat looking amp. So I'm all about style. I mean, the way he designs stuff is so fun. Yes, saw those pics. Damn. Okay, we did that. AGDP, have to check that out. New Pearl Jam. I get it. If you love Pearl Jam, it's great. He's working for my Gregorian ramp mix. Did you hear, Chance? Did you hear today's? Oh my God, that was my favorite one yet. And I've got another one in the can that I haven't even shown the light of day. But I'm really, really thrilled with that. In fact, I like that one so much. I may drop that on Patreon just for fun to all the Patreon folks and let them hear the whole mix. Because I did like a 3+ minute version of that. And it's a whole thing. It's really neat. I'm going to send that. I may send that out. But yeah, this was the top of the show. Go and listen to the top of the show if you didn't. The new Memphis vibe mix. I love the sound of Memphis Soul. It's my favorite genre, I think, of anything. Even more than I love like the punk new wave of the early 80s. that Memphis Soul like speaks to me. I connect with it. I think it's the best ever. So it's fun to play in that realm and get to do some fun stuff for the show in that lane. So fun. But yeah, that was the Memphis Soul mix today. It's so great. I'm having so much fun with this stuff. Neil Snyder says, in Penang for an audio show. He's in Penang for an audio show. Last minute, something to do. We'll report on stuff. Please do, Neil. Always love hearing it. Ryan Dietz in the house. Not the Mod House. Those are in the back, man. Always over the shoulder. You get free advertising on this show, Ryan. You can't miss that green headphone back there. It's a constant reminder that Mod House is... Dietz is in the house. He smells voltage. Talk about gain staging. So much. He actually prefers Foo Fighters to Nirvana if he could only choose one. I like some Foo Fighters. I don't like all Foo Fighters. I really enjoyed the one that I liked of Foo Fighters was the one he did the HBO series on. Sonic Highways. That was neat. That was really neat. I loved seeing the etymology of how those songs came together and the guests he brought in. That was a fun series, and I enjoyed that album. I still go back to that every now and then. It's not a great evaluation album because he's doing some effect on his vocal that gives it a hollowish sound. It's a very tight reverb, and when it plays back, it really will. It's hard to evaluate the sound. Use that music to evaluate a headphone because it's generally something I don't like to hear on headphones is that hollowness, and if it's on a headphone that's hollow, it's really going to be bad. So, but I do like Foo Fighters. I liked all their stuff. It's fun. But it's for if you like it, good. Moving on. Enough about that. Ryan, thanks. He's recovering from a root canal. Oh, man. Ouch. Oy. Oh, not good, Ryan. Oh, that's bad, man. Sorry, brother. Let's all raise a glass. If you have any whiskey, if you have any hard stuff, if you've got any rye, throw that down and maybe Ryan will feel it. Numb his tooth. Neil Snyder, Google LAIV DAC. Okay. Fantastic industrial clean design awaiting reviews. Okay. I'll do that if I want to get through some of the chat here, but I'll copy that over to the show notes for sure. Very cool. Always like new stuff to check out. Always good. Always good. Hey, why is it not copying? This is a straight thing you should do, guys. I am not asking for the world here. I'm doing a simple copy paste. You shouldn't be giving me feedback. There we go. All right, very good. Copied over the show notes. Thank you, Neil. Chance says, Taylor, who are your favorite... Retailer, who are your favorite 3 female singers of all time? Well, Billie Holiday's got to be in consideration. Bessie Smith, maybe? Love me, Aretha. Aretha's phenomenal. Amy Winehouse has got to be up there. I think for the contemporaries, she's probably the only singer that I like after 2000. Christina Aguilera's got a good voice, but I didn't like what she sang. I think that it's got to be Billie Holiday at the top. Bessie Smith, I loved her gritty voice. That was great. I was never the biggest fan of Ella Fitzgerald. I was trying to think of the great singers, and there's no question that she's one of the great singers. She's wasn't one of my personal favorites, and part of that was she had this early era where she was singing in a really high register as a cutesy, like trying to be almost a teenager kind of singing style. And it didn't resonate with me, and I can't get that image out of my head sometimes, like when I hear her. Even though in the later years, she got that baritone going. But in the earlier years, she was very in the upper registers, and it didn't do as much for me. No question the woman could scat, though. Oh my God, that woman, she was amazing in that way. I have so many great female singers, but those would be like the ones I like. Women that lean into a more jazz approach and know how to hit blue notes and carry that through. That's the stuff that gets my soul, like just it pulls me in. I think there are some great female vocalists. I've always liked Carly Simon's voice, but I don't consider her like my favorite. Because it's, and Aretha, I love Aretha Franklin. She's got to be in the running there. Female singers. Just trying to go through. Berta Flack, she's fantastic. I mean, Dionne Warwick, nothing wrong with her voice. But I think I like the ones that can go into that hit that blue era. Yeah, Dusty Springfield. I just saw that at the bottom. Sorry, I skipped down because it just popped up. But yeah, those are the vocalists the female vocalists that become my favorites. I think there are great ones, but it's those, like, they were special. There's something extra special to me because there's a quality in their voice, and they can grit and they can go powerful. They have a belt, but they also have a soft side to pull back, so there's contrast. That's something that I think gets overlooked in music, though, is dynamics in music. One of my favorite groups from the 2000s era was, and I've talked about them before on the show, was a group called the Fratellis, and they had an album, Costello Music, that some of the songs off of it got some airplay. But what I loved about that record is the dynamics, the swings from incredible huge bursts of energy to very quiet. It's what I loved about, we were talking about it last week, American Idiot. It would be Billy Joe, if you listen to Jesus of Suburbia, it's like super hard-hitting stuff, and then he relaxes it and spreads it out, and the soundstage expands, but then he comes back and hits it really powerful. It's like those changes are so important for me in music because it takes me along on a ride. There's quietness, and then there's the impact of the up-tempo loud stuff has much greater impact than because it's countered with these softer, quieter sections. It makes it that much more impactful to me. And it makes it more interesting to me. So I always like music that's dense in contrast. And Led Zeppelin used to call it shades and light. Shade and light. You'd have the light, and then you'd have the shade, and the intricate play between the two and the dance between the two. They didn't always achieve it, but I thought that's always something that I've talked about as far as musical taste. And female singers that can do that can put all of that into song. Those are the ones that I tend to gravitate towards. I said levitate. Gravitate towards. But good question, Chance. Who are some of yours? Give me some of your favorites. Who am I missing? Was there anybody obvious that I missed? I don't know. Some great singers, and there are a lot of lesser known great singers too that people, a lot of people haven't heard of. So I heard there's a beautiful song that went viral during the pandemic, and it was a remake of an old traditional song called "You Don't Know Me," I think, and the artist was Dawn Langstroth, Canadian singer, and it was just a random woman, and it was such a touching performance, and it was just her with a guitar singing it, and she uploaded to YouTube, got a ton of hits. So I was trying to find out more about her, and it turns out she's Helen Rady's daughter. Helen Reddy, yeah, huge singer from the 70s. Yeah, it was her daughter. So, good genes. But it was funny because it's like Langstroth. I'm like, wow, that's such an unusual name. And I'm like, what else has she done? And I tried to look her up, and I'm like, yeah, that's Helen Reddy's daughter, dude. So fun. ZMF, JTB says ZMF is having a stabilized run for the Caldera, atrium open and closed, coming soon. Yes. And that I think I talked about that earlier in the show, but that's dropped this week. A lot of it's sold out, but there's still some stuff left. There was still some stuff left when I went over there the other day. So possible. You might be able to get it. Matthew Hilty pre-ordered the DMS Omega. Hope it's good. Report back to us. We'd love to know. Det Vihar by Carrie Brennan is really interesting. Oh boy, I'll have to... That I have not heard of. So that's going to go into the list. You'll give me some usual recommendations today. Very cool. Like that. Nephilim's dying for the Caldera close. Yeah, I'd love to hear that one. It's gonna be good, I think. JTB says he's waiting for the Michael surprise reaction to like that kid getting the Nintendo 64 for Christmas. No, it's just, I think it's more exciting when we, like if I knew exactly on the episodes where I know exactly what it is that I'm unboxing, it's not as... they don't come off as more exciting to me. I like doing doing the live stuff, and it's fun. Every time he turns on his preamp, Nephilim says he now sings to himself, "Gain staging." The doo-wop. Where is it? It's got to be here, right? Oh, I think it was. Oh, it's only on the other system, I think. I gotta carry it over. It's not on the laptop, so I can't do it for you. Can't show that one off. That was really great. I like the power one too. It's about power. so funk. Chance D, 2 great albums with the Memphis Soul Band. Is one with Aretha Franklin and the other is Dusty Springfield in Memphis. I've heard the Aretha one for sure. Dusty though. That's a good one, man. Just put that on the list. Got to do that. No more love for Linda Ronson. No, I love Linda. And I'm still working on her piece, so she's still fresh in my mind, and I've done a lot of listening to her. I don't put... She has a belt, but she doesn't have a blues. She doesn't hit the blue notes the way some other singers do. Like, she's got more of a major scale voice. You know what I mean? Even like when she sang foreign language stuff and when she did standards, it's like it's a very major scale type voice. She doesn't do the flats as much. And Linda has a perfect voice. I'm just saying for my taste. She's got an huge instrument, and her tone is incredible. Her notation, she's right on the notes. Very good. No more love for Christopher. Annie Lennox. Oh yeah, good one, Nephilim. Annie Lennox. God. And a lot of people thought she was just kind of like that new wave sound. And then you listen to a song like Why. So powerful. Great. Female rockers, Ann Wilson, no question. Pat Benatar, good one. Stevie Nicks, Tina Turner. Tina had a great voice. Tina had a very powerful voice. I gotta agree with that. Chrissy Hine, she had like a really unusual approach. It was almost like there was a style to her voice that I loved, and she could sing a phone book. She really had a good one. Howdy, just won't a pair of... Ace Spade says, howdy, just won't a pair of speakers. Woot. Did you just won a pair of speakers? Did you just buy a pair of speakers? Ace of Spades, that needs some clarification, my friend. So no Sarah Vaughan. No, she's great. Dinah Washington, of course, is fantastic. Yeah, Gil, two good additions. I mean, the list is so long. It's like I just think of who stands out to me. I definitely think I'd put, for my preferences, Billie Holiday is just her voice haunts me, and it's so beautiful. And Amy Winehouse had that quality, so I kind of tend to throw her in there. She had a modern take on it, but I have long considered Amy to be the most important vocalist since Freddie Mercury to modern music. And people think I'm crazy for that, or don't, whatever. It's hyperbole. And I'm like, everybody who came after Amy stole from Amy. And she did her own fair share of stealing herself, but she reframed what a voice could do in post-2000 music. It didn't have to be Britney. It didn't have to be, that poppy sound that everybody, it's like you could actually do something with your vocal. And I listen to Adele and I hear Amy. I as popular as Adele, she had her run. Maybe it's fading. Maybe she's past that hot spot now. I don't think the last album did as well as they, like as 25 did. So yeah, but when I listen to Adele, I hear Amy. I hear all of that influence. I think that she sort of was the natural progression from her. And she has a great voice, but I think that there was something special about her voice. Is it top 3? I don't know. It's in there. It's in there. 1. Ace of Spades, where'd you win the speakers from, bro? Brew? What happened? Good one. Sarah Vaughan, Oleta Adams, yes, and Streisand. Streisand is another, phenomenal voice. But she's major scale. She doesn't sing that blue stuff, which is why I don't put her in my personal favorites. But she's undoubtedly one of the great voices of our time. You'd say the same thing about Liza Minnelli. Phenomenal voice, phenomenal vocals, but not my personal favorite. What are the Ace of Spades? You've left us without critical details. What are they? What'd you buy? What'd you win? But those are all good recommendations, Neil. I love them. Love them all. Nancy Wilson was your classic torch singer. But to me, she was unsurpassed in that style. Yeah, absolutely. She was a power, still is. Nancy Wilson is a power belter. She can belt to those upper registers, and she's somebody who, over time, she hasn't lost much in her voice as she's aged, and not everybody can say that. You listen to Robert Plant's voice today, and it's like, dude, what happened? Where did the upper register go? Steven Tyler, dude, what happened? You don't hear a note-accurate version of Dream On from Steven Tyler these days. No, you just can't do it anymore, And David Lee Roth, his Van Halen days are gone. He just cannot hit the notes anymore. It's all right. You don't wish him... But that era is long past them. He can't sing like that anymore. And if you ever wondered, go check out, there was a classic Jimmy Kimmel performance of Van Halen. You can Google, this is on YouTube, I think. Jimmy had Van Halen when they reunited with David Lee Roth briefly. Ever so briefly. They did a live concert in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard, and it's notable because Dave came out at the top and he breaks into I think it was broke into Eruption, as I recall, but I could be wrong. Swinging his mic stand, the half mic stand, like a baton, and cracked himself in the nose and bloodied his nose, and he was bleeding all over the place. complete disaster. But Dave went on to sing that, and it was really bad. He was so, and maybe that was getting hit in the head that hurt him, but that was the worst sounding performance I can remember in a long time. It's terrible. Gotta love Diamond Dave though for style. He had a style about him. SVS Prime Wireless Pro won them on the audio advice live stream a few hours ago. You were cheating on me, Ace of Spades? Am I to understand that you were cheating on the director's garage? How dare you, sir? How dare you? That's awesome. Fun. He joined a few times. Audio Fool, you've cheated on me too? What, is everybody cheating on me? Love SVS, especially their subs. Whitney Houston, great voice. Definitely, one of the great vocalists of all time. Not my personal favorite though. I don't know. There's something about her that was very, and her music was very whole. And I like edgier stuff. JTB says the first Pretenders album is one of the best debut albums ever. Yeah, and they lost the band. Like, people died in that band. It's like the first 3 records, she replaced the entire band over the course of those first 3 records because it just kept falling apart. People would die, would drop out of the band. I mean, it was a disaster. She had to rebuild the band every time. It's a tremendous story. Go Google the Pretenders story sometime. It's amazing what Chrissie Hynde endured. She's like, God, I'm just trying to get my career going, and I've got the stuff. I just can't keep a band together. Guys dropping out for drugs, all kinds of stuff going on with that band. Audio Fool, we're skipping that. I'm not taking that bait. Come on, Michael. What is a raffle for the LCD format? Yes. Okay, if I can sell 2,000 tickets at $2 a piece, I will raffle off the LCD4. How's that? $4,000 for the LCD4. That would be worth it. Ace of Spades says Alison Krauss. Yeah, the great one. Sarsh Jaras. I don't know who Sarsh is. I'll have to look that up. Waylon Jennings, as opposed to Waylon Jennings. Oh, that's good. All right, copy that over. Very sadly, Nancy Wilson passed away. Oh, you're talking about the jazz singer Nancy Wilson. I'm thinking of Heart. I'm sorry, guys. We got off. Somebody mentioned Heart, and it was Ann Wilson, and then I transposed the names. My bad. Yes, Nancy Wilson, the jazz singer. Of course, she was fabulous. Fabulous, yes. Very good. Sorry, I was... we jumped things, and my brain didn't follow the thread. My bad, guys. My bad. Oh. Yeah, I gotta have some love for Nancy Wilson. She was amazing. Great stuff. JTB, the problem with Robert Plant is he sang so high on the records that it's impossible for him to come even close to hitting those notes today. Not many can, period. Yeah, I know. But his range, that range back then. And it makes me wonder, like, had Freddie Mercury lived, he had that amazing range. Would he still be able to do that today? I don't know. Maybe not. We never heard Freddie Mercury out of his prime, right? Isn't that interesting? So the legend lives. It's like, would Jimi Hendrix have continued, had Jimi Hendrix lived? We will never know. Would he have gone on to, like, even higher heights, or would he have, become more of a footnote? But he died on top, He died, with so much left out there to do, So much more to say. Very interesting. So how that happens. And maybe Janis Joplin's the same way. Like, we didn't get that much music from Janis Joplin. Only a couple records, Very interesting stuff. Makes you think. Makes you think. Would they be held in as, in that pantheon? And I would say yes, but we don't know how great they could have been, or if they would have just gotten past their prime. Nephilim says, who can really sing is the front woman from Lacuna Coil, Christina Scabbia. Jesus, she's awesome. Oh, boy. You guys are dropping some names on me I haven't heard. I'm going to have to go listen to some of this stuff. I don't know everybody, guys. I have a base knowledge, but I don't know all these folks. Really good recommendations today, though, man. That's kind of the theme that's emerged from this. If you're looking for some new stuff to listen to, and we got a lot of viewers in here. Hey, cheers, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. We're almost through the week. Just one more day. I was going to do the live stream tomorrow, but the live stream doesn't. I have to get my car into the shop. My car needs an oil change, and I'll tell you. Okay, here's a good story. This is just a non-audio related story. So, I go to Jiffy Lube to get an oil change. Right? We've got experience. Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube, call me. Set something up. Not after this story. They're not going to want it. So I remembered that they don't have the parts. I don't drive like a Lamborghini, but they have a problem with the filter for my car, because it's like a 6-cylinder turbo something or other engine, and they've had a problem with the oil filter the last time I was there. So, but that was like a couple of years ago. So I thought, well, maybe I'll go back to Jiffy Lube and see if I can't just get it done rather than having to take my car into the shop on Friday, which is what I'm doing. You'll understand why. So Jiffy Lube, you can pull into the stalls and get in line, or you can pull off to the side. And I'm like, well, I just want to find out if they have the filter before I get into line and get, stuck into something. So I pulled off to the side, and I go in and I go, hey, guys, I don't want to get into line until I find out if you have the filter for my car. He goes, yeah, no problem. I'll check on it in just a second. So I'm standing there for a couple of minutes, and I look around, and it's like these are all like super teenage kids. Like, I don't think there was a kid there that was over 21. I'm like, okay. And there's a car sitting in the middle bay that's up on like a jack. And I'm like, why is it up on? And the tires are off and under the car. And I'm like, why would you do and I'm like, and then there's a guy who comes out of his car who's in line to get in a bay going, what's going on here? Why am I waiting? And then like 2 more people pulled up and got in the line. So now, even if they have the filter, I'm going to be 3 cars waiting, which is like an hour wait for the. And they're like, oh, and the guy said, oh, I'm sorry, we're understaffed today. And I'm like, and you guys are like 12. You're all 12. I'm like, I came to an immediate decision that I don't want you guys touching my car. I don't care how. Like, I'm good. I'll go to the dealer. I'll pay the extra money, go to the dealer, and get the job done right. Because I think you're going to put antifreeze in my oil, if I had to guess. Because I think you guys were smoking dope during lunchtime, and you're in there going, oil. So I didn't. That was my story, and why I'm taking the car in, and why I couldn't do the car's going to go into the shop tomorrow, and I really didn't know if I was going to have to go pick up the car in the afternoon. So I didn't want to get stuck. So today is the live stream. Nephilim says, okay, we did that. Check out the track No Need to Explain. We'll do Sister Sparrow and the Dirty Birds are another. Goodness me, you guys are dropping some obscure shit today. I mean, I guess I have some obscure stuff, too. Interesting, though. Anne Brune is a singer you would love. Okay. Wow. Nobody has the main stuff. Okay. I have to copy the Anne Brune. Copy. Put that in my notes. God, my my show notes today are huge. But I do listen to this stuff, guys. I actually do like take your advice and I go listen to it. And if it's something I like, I'll usually comment back. Very good. Hipster Cow. Howdy, gents. Sorry he's late. What did he miss? Well, Hipster Cow, you have missed comments on the Zale and talked about a little Taylor Swift earlier today. Got some more custom sings. You missed an awesome top of the show. There's I debuted a new track at the top of the show. More music stuff. Just having fun with that. We learned we need to check out Det Vihar by Carrie Brenmes, really interesting. Dusty Springfield in Memphis, I want to check that out. Sasha Rose, Alison Krauss. Lacuna Coil, Christiana Scabia. So a lot of recommendations. A lot of recommendations for music, Hipster Cow. So we're going to go check out when we're off the air. I do it now, but you know, the YouTubes. Oh, Etta James, of course. Talking our favorite female singers today. Sheryl Crow. Sorry. Oh, Sheryl Crow. It's like the thinnest voice. Unimaginable. Howdy, gents. So we did that. Saw Johnny Mathis in 87. He was great. Age can be a hindrance, but if you know how to sing, it's no problem, like Tony Bennett. And I would also say Smokey Robinson has figured out how to do it at an old age, and he's up there. Phenomenal, even today, phenomenal singer. Just tremendous. Always impresses me. Etta James, yeah. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Nina Simone. Guys, you're pulling some great names today. Some great names. God. So much good music. Makes me want to get off the air and listen to some, which I'm going to have. Wow, I just pulled that. That's nearly yanked my headphone apart here. I'm on the thin ZMF on this one. But it goes into my quarter. It's got a quarter-inch jack attached. Such good stuff today, guys. Such good stuff. I'm going to start wrapping things up, I think, because we're out of chat. And I got to get on with the day. I got to go see the wifey and see the Mrs. Director. And we'll do some dinner tonight. Got to make some dinner. Very good stuff. But what a great show as far as recommendations. And I didn't have to go into my bag of... Director's Garage themes. Maybe I'll play one to get out of here. That would be fun. So good. So good. And I got some great recommendations from you all on stuff to listen to off the air. I hope you guys take some of those notes too. Go back through the show notes and check those out. And let's see. What can I do? How do I want to get off the air today? I don't have anything in queue. That's the problem. I'll give you guys something. Where's that long soul mix I just did? God, that's so good. Oh, this is it. All right, let's see if I can... Oh, no. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, here's my gospel. This is the new gospel one, guys. I love this stuff. All right. Cheers, tip your waiters and waitresses. I will see you next week, if not on a new show, a live one. But check this out on the way out. This is awesome. I love this one. Cheers, everybody.
Oh, yeah. I've been searching and searching. Help me, oh, help me, help me, Lord, help me find my way, oh, to the director's garage. can you show me the way? I've got to, I've got to, got to, I've got to find it. I got to find it. People, can you show me the way to the direct garage? It ain't too far, no it isn't, no it isn't. But I've been searching and searching away. Help me find the director.